After a long career of over 50 years and 150 films going from indies to blockbusters, it would be an absentee father that would land the patriarch of an acting dynasty to his first and long overdue Oscar nomination this past year. We are in season 3 of Oscar Rewind, and today I am looking at October Films' Breaking the Waves. Co-written by Peter Amusin and the film's director Lars von Trier, the film premiered at Cannes 30 years ago yesterday, May 18th, before debuting in theaters that fall. What's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike here, and it's a new episode of Oscar Rewind, where I look back at the films of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these throwbacks. We're really into it with some good ones and more coming. We are in Chapter 2, Breakout Performances. This chapter focuses on early standout roles from some of this year's other nominees, performances that helped define careers, even if it wasn't their first. And today's spotlight is for the powerhouse we all know and love, Stellan Skarsgård. This film was the one that brought him international recognition outside his native Sweden, where he would become a delight in indies and box office smashes. Now, if you've never seen Breaking the Waves, here's your quick spoiler-free setup. Bess, played by Emily Watson, is a deeply religious young woman living in a very strict Scottish coastal community. So strict, in fact, that the women are not allowed to speak in church. After falling in love with Jan, an outsider working on an offshore oil rig, played by Stellan Skarsgård, the two marry despite severe disapproval from many around them, especially Bess's family. That said, their relationship is passionate and intense, but difficult once Jan has to return to work offshore for extended stretches at a time. Bess still carries some emotional scars from an earlier tragedy in her life, so she struggles deeply with the separation. And then, when a tragic accident leaves Jan seriously injured and confined to a hospital bed, Bess becomes consumed with guilt and desperation. As Jan's emotional and physical state gets worse, he starts asking Bess to do things that challenge both her faith and her beliefs. Wanting desperately to save the man that she loves, Bess starts to make some increasingly painful sacrifices that really push her away from the person she is and away from her community and the people around her. And as rumors spread and tensions rise within the town, Bess is forced to confront everything that she knows and holds true. And what comes is a real difficult story that, walks that complicated line between faith, obsession, and redemption. What truly makes this film work is the emotional commitment from the cast and the very unique way Lars von Trier tells this story. Emily Watson, in her feature film debut, is absolutely incredible as Bess. One moment she's soft-spoken and almost childlike in the way she sees the world, and then suddenly when the story demands it, she's this emotional whirlwind. It's such a tragic performance because throughout the film you genuinely feel sorry for her, but there are other times when you just want to reach into the screen and shake her. It completely is a performance that locks you in. And opposite her, the reason we're here, Stellan Skarsgård, he's wonderful as Jan. After the accident, much of his performance, as I said, he's bedridden. So while he's stationary, though, he never loses the impact. Skarsgård communicates so much through simple looks, pauses, and the way he delivers the dialogue that you can't help but be hypnotized by what he does. It's those intense eyes, right, that have carried so many performances for the decades, where you can absolutely see why here. Von Trier also, he gets really fascinating support work from Katrine Cartledge as Dodo and Adrian Rawlings as Dr. Richardson, two supporting players that are important to Bess's life. These were characters that could have kind of easily faded into the background, but the screenplay gives them moments and choices that keep surprising you, adding more layers and subverting your expectations at certain points. Technically, this film is fascinating as well. Robbie Mueller's handheld cinematography gives everything this almost cinema verite documentary feel that makes the story even more gripping. The grainy, shaky 35mm footage looks perfect, complementing the 1970s setting, and Von Trier structures the film through different chapters so it helps keep the narrative moving, but also allowing for some really wonderful music interludes that were arranged by Joachim Holbeck, and also allows for some classic needle drops. All together, everything is a film that's intimate, uncomfortable, emotional, and absorbing. Everything comes together at once. Now let's talk box office and awards. This little film, after its initial run and international re-releases, currently sits with $3,803,298 domestically, $27,884 internationally, for a worldwide take of $3,831,182. Critically, the film sits with an 85% tomato meter from 65 reviews and a 91% on the popcorn meter from over 25,000 audience reviews. Award season-wise, with over 70 nods and wins, Watson was the standout with Best Actress nods at the Oscars, BAFTAs, Golden Globes, which also nominated the film for Best Picture Drama, and several other acting wins and nods for her. Some other highlights: it was named one of the top 10 films of the year by the National Board of Review in '96, and Lars von Trier won the grand prize of the jury at Cannes, as well as being a nominee for the Palme d'Or. It was also a Best Foreign Film nominee at the Independent Spirit Awards and won the category at the César Awards, the Oscars of France. Breaking the Waves is a powerful movie that, I'll be honest, it is worth at least a one-time watch. Not the kind of film that you might necessarily need to frequently revisit, but it makes its mark. A 4-star film with amazing 5-star performances. You can catch this one currently streaming on Mubi. And that's it for episode 15 of season 3 of Oscar Rewind. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments, what's a powerful movie that you've seen just once and that was enough to leave its mark? Please follow me on all social media platforms and Letterboxd, and check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for more exclusive content. I'll see you all for the next Rewind, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.